All
Oh, I
right,
think we're
welcome.
live.
Once again, we did it. All right, welcome everyone. This is a Let's Talk About with Danay Novoa and Sheila Williams. And as always, our adventures to get on live are nothing remarkable, but also consistent. So thanks to everybody who tunes in. We've been hearing from people that they are tuning in and they are interested in what we're talking about. So that's always a fun surprise, isn't it, Denai?
hmm Yeah, but given that, it looks like nobody's talking or nobody's watching, I guess. I mean, right now nobody's watching, at least on my channel. So, but somebody will pop on. They'll get the notification. They'll go, "Oh my goodness, it's that time again."
Exactly. All right, so today we have an idea for a topic, and it came up from kind of a funny incident that Denai had. And so, do you want to get us started?
Sure. So I tend to be in my head quite a bit, and I think about not only my experiences, but the experience of the other. Uh, and I know it's very human to wonder what are other people thinking of me. But for the first time, I made the assumption the other day that I was chatting back and forth with an AI program, and I thought the AI is judging me. And I went, "What?" Like, it's not judging me. Like, that's me judging me. So I thought it was absolutely hilarious. In my head, I was like, I can say it's judging me. And I was like, it is not judging you. So it was very entertaining to go through this experience and just get more evidence of the fact that what we believe the impressions are of other people are of us, or what we think of us. And we just go, here, you hold that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said to the AI, here, you hold this insecurity I have, and then I'll go, you're judging me. But it's like I could turn to a plant or a tree or a table and go, you're judging me. So
Well, I mean, you're kind of like reducing the AI to, I mean, this could be a whole data on Star Trek Next Generation, conversation. Like, are you saying that there's nothing about the AI? Which is not the conversation I want to have, but I do think it's interesting because essentially the way that these, the language learning models, that's what they started out as, they're learning from everything that we give them. Like they are taking our input and reflecting it back to us. They respond in the way that we, type or say our question. They basically mirror the language and the style back. And I do think it's fascinating that you kind of perceived it just, and yours is very cheeky. You've showed me screenshots, and it does basically talk to you almost like an older sister or something, where it chastises a little bit and supports a little bit. And
yeah.
so it is fascinating how you have essentially crafted it to be that way, which again could be a whole other conversation, maybe not one that's live on YouTube, but it's it is, I think, really fun that you got the awareness of, wait a second, is it judging me? Wait a second, no, it can't or it shouldn't be able to because it is just a, computer programming. This is not anything with humanity who's, creating judgments. So you had the awareness, oh wait, this must be something that I'm projecting onto it. But then I laugh because literally 5 minutes ago you started second guessing the topic, and so you started looking up a whole other thing. It's like, why are you doing that? I thought you told me what the topic was. It's your turn, and you told me, and it was good. And you're like, yeah, but I sensed that you weren't okay with it. Like you said, something told me that you didn't like it. It's like, yeah, but I didn't tell you that. So once again, you modeled perfectly how you kind of have this idea in your head, you perceive it as truth, and then you act on it, even though there is no evidence to support that. Because I was sitting right here in front of you on the computer screen, and I hadn't said anything at all about not liking it or not wanting this topic or wanting anything different. So I think it's fascinating just for us to be aware when we do these, giant leaps in our mind because we do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time, in all kinds of relationships. We assume how people are, what they're thinking, we had a good conversation on my membership call this week about how we so often will run conversations in our head. Okay, I'll say this, and then that person will respond this, and then here's the rebuttal that I'll have, and then here's what they'll respond, and here's how I'll explain myself, and then usually we never have those conversations, but if we do, and the person doesn't respond that way, it feels like, wait a second, you're going off script because I already have this all written out about how you're going to argue with me and I have to defend myself and I got a really good defense ready and you're cheating me of the chance to even use it because you're okay with whatever we were going to talk about. Like it's so fascinating that we write that script essentially in our own mind, but it doesn't mean that it's true.
No, it's actually probably in most cases not true, or
Mm.
sometimes I'd go as far as saying never true, because there's always going to be some type of nuance to it that says, like, one, we're not in the person's head. We don't have control of what the person shares and to what capacity they share it. What we're doing is creating, I mean, this can fan out into something really, really complicated, but the idea is like what you think of me and what I think of you isn't you or me. It's what we've gathered experientially of each other to create the essence of Sheila and the essence of Danay. So you have there's a Danay Sheila and a Sheila Danay. that that version of it, right? So this idea here is that with this, I'm I'm creating a story based on my experience with you. And then from there, I'm making it so that I believe something's going to happen in a particular way. And then it comes back being different. That any of that makes sense? Because I'm in my head a little bit too.
Well, it does make sense. I lost you a little bit, but I agree that we do have perceptions of who people are. We have gathered all of the information and we are building kind of that persona in our mind, but it's never going to be fully accurate because it doesn't allow for the fact that people do have their own free will and they're always evolving.
Say that again.
All right. That we have an idea of who people are. So we think we know how they're going to react. We think
Yeah.
we know things about them. That person doesn't like mushrooms and they do like bubbles or whatever it is. Like we bring in all this data and we continue to build on it. But in essence, that's the image that we have. And so if they do anything different, it feels kind of strange to us. Like, wait a second, that doesn't line up with my image of you. And so it feels almost a bit jarring sometimes. Like, what do you mean? I didn't know that you liked doing that. Or what do you mean? I thought you didn't like that. And it's, we have to make sure that we're always remembering that we only ever have a certain perspective of people. Again, we've talked about filters and kind of having everything processed through our filter. So even the things that we know that are pretty objective, we've still processed through our own filter and then banked it within that context. And so since people can change their mind and they can surprise you and they can make different decisions in the moment, we're never going to really be able to anticipate what people are doing. Which, to bring us back to where we started, when we assume we know how they're going to judge something, we can't assume that because we really don't know. Um, you might have a relationship with someone, let's say a sibling, because that's who's known you the longest. And you might think, oh, they would make fun of me if I decided to take salsa dancing lessons, whatever. Like they always made fun of me when I was a kid. And so if I told them I'm going to make lessons, they would probably judge that or say, oh, yeah, well, you do need lessons or something, and it won't feel good for me. So I'm not going to share that information. And yet it may turn out that if you shared it, they're like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to take salsa dancing lessons too. Like, let me know how it goes, or maybe I could come with you. And that can feel surprising, but it's really just highlighting we don't know. And for us to assume, especially about people judging us, it is just in a lot of ways a waste of energy and focus.
Yeah, it can be because you're creating stories without the evidence. Like you really don't know what anybody thinks of you, even when they tell you what they think of you, because they may not be telling you accurately.
Mhm.
So from there, you really don't know. So yeah, it makes it interesting to process that what every single person believes that they are um, just creating their own like world of how everybody is responding to them based on what judgments and perceptions they have of themselves.
Well, and that's it again, because again, going right back to the very beginning, so many of those judgments are just our own that we are projecting and personifying to things around us. And it can be really fascinating when we work with clients to have them voice something like that. Well, this is what I'm worried about, or this is what I'm worried that this person's going to think. And then to really distill it to how much of you thinks that that's true, because there must be part of you, or you really just wouldn't be worried or about it happening at all. Like you wouldn't be open to and available to that. So if some part of you is judging yourself on that matter, that's the only reason why you would assume that anybody else is doing it or care. Because I think that's the other thing. If you didn't really have that as something for your own, you wouldn't care. And I've used this example before too. Like if you really loved red shoes, like a lot of people love red shoes, whether they're high heels or running shoes, it doesn't matter. And if you feel good in them, you're going to wear them. You're not going to worry if anybody thinks, "Oh, red shoes don't look good, or they're not appropriate, or they're whimsical, or they're silly." You just don't care because you're good. But if part of you is wondering like, "Oh, I wonder if these really are the right thing to be wearing," that's what you're going to be open and available to. And you're going to be wondering and worrying. And someone might even say, seriously, red shoes? And like, oh, like, why are you judging me? But again, as we talked about, the origin is always you, always. And so noticing for yourself, if that happens, you might have a reaction about that person saying something, but it's worth you reflecting back. Like, isn't it interesting to notice I must have some insecurity about this? Otherwise, I wouldn't have like I would have said like, "Meh, I don't care." Like I really don't care what your opinion is. You really wouldn't care. But if you kind of internalize it at all and have that reaction, that does mean that there's something there.
Yeah, obviously, it has to hit a particular button. I mean, the common example that's used is if somebody walked up to you that you had no idea who they are and they said, I'm never going to talk to you again, you'd kind of go, okay, and then off you would go. But if somebody who meant the world to you came up to you and said, I'm never going to talk to you again, then that would be a whole different reaction. I mean, the idea is if it spikes a response in you, and we've talked about this across numerous sessions with clients and in general, um, that when something activates you or triggers you, that it's because there's something in you that it's poking at that could be looked at to say, well, what belief is it tapping into that is making me reactive? So if it's not present in you or in your energetic field, it's not going to affect you. It's just going to essentially be like in one ear, out the other. It's not going to matter.
Yeah. So it is a good opportunity, I think would be the good word, to notice for yourself if there is something, when there's something, because there always is something that gets that reaction out of you. it's good to release the other person from the responsibility as best you can. Obviously, we're talking, we're not talking abusive relationships or anything. We're just talking like a normal person kind of being maybe a little mean or whatever, judgy if we think it's that, and just notice for yourself, like, ooh, what is there in me that elicited this? Is there a situation in my own life where maybe I'm being judgmental? Maybe it's not even on this topic, but in general. Or maybe if someone was very impatient with us, like, where am I being impatient? And just notice it's somewhere in you. There is something within you that is, again, vibrating at that level so that you are attracting more evidence of it. And it is a good reflection. And I've used this in the past for myself of noticing, like, that person's always kind of, a little short with me, a little rude. Like, what's that about? I'm a nice person. Why would anybody be rude to me? And I used it as an opportunity to go, is there someone who maybe perceives that I'm treating them like this? Like, what is going on in my own life? Even though, again, I'm a nice person, maybe there is someone that I'm a little short with. And that's an opportunity for me to reflect on that and to understand this is how it feels to be on the receiving end. And maybe I just need to be a little bit more aware of it. And it was in that moment a very good life lesson of noticing anything that is triggering me up with other people. There is something in my own experience, and it is worth, if I want to, make a shift so that I can soften that and reduce it.
Yeah. And I like that explanation, along with the other thing that comes up is the idea that even if you're not finding that you're doing the thing, like you're being short with somebody or whatever it may be, the other potential reason that it's activating something in you is that you have an insecurity or a belief that you're not good enough. And such, like, when somebody treats you in a way that lines up with what you believe, good or bad, it triggers something in you, it activates something in you. So it essentially will just, like a tuning fork, vibrate that part of you and say, pay attention to me, this is what's active. So when we get others' behaviors or others' words affecting us, it could be a reflection of us doing it to other people, and it could be a reflection that it lies within us and it's bringing an insecurity or a belief that doesn't work anymore to the surface for you to go, is this even true anymore?
Ooh, one of my favorite questions. Thanks for bringing that in.
Yeah. So our usual is watching Anna, and she's got lots going on in the conversation. She talks about how we are making assumptions. I can't see the rest of it for some reason. Yeah, I can't make out because I have a little thing in the way, but thanks for watching, Anna. It's nice to have somebody consistently there.
That we know about. It's
Yes.
exciting that other people will be watching.
Yes.
So yeah, thanks, Danai. I found this one a particularly juicy topic, and I like that it came from, your experience just chatting with your judgy AI, and how much fun to have an opportunity to reflect on some deeper questions. And thanks for bringing in that question of, is it even true? When we have these beliefs come up, they're coming up for a reason, and we're ready to look at them and question them. And so many of those beliefs that we have built our lives on, they might not fit anymore. They might be like that jacket that doesn't quite fit in the arms anymore, and just a little tight across the shoulders. And it's worth asking, like, is that true? Does this fit for me anymore? Because if you're ready to let it go, gosh darn it, let it go and bring in something else that does fit better, because it's worth asking those questions.
Yeah, and we're going through an evolution. Who you were when you were a child, a teenager, an adult at various stages isn't who you're going to be as you continue to get older. It's not that the previous versions of you were bad. They were just in line with what you believed then and who you were then. So as you continue to grow, it's inevitable that you're going to change. And because of that, that just means that there's going to be certain things that you used to believe as a child or whatever age that doesn't apply now, you know? So it's, I talked about with one client how when we're in these moments where it's like we're sad or we're angry or whatever it may be, and we catch ourselves just automatically saying something, like I don't have enough or I'm not good enough or whatever it is. You're like the common one is like I just would be great if I could get a break. We're very careful about that one. And the idea here is those to me are like keys to access what the belief is so that you can bring it to the surface and say, is it true? And adjust accordingly. So I think it's valuable.
Absolutely. Wow, good one. Thank you again, everyone who watches, and I hope you got something out of the conversation. Feel free to drop a comment if you did listen. Feel free to reach out to either me or Danay for any questions you may have. We run very different coaching businesses, but the nice thing is we're both very good at what we do.
And
So,
they're both very
uh,
awesome. I should do another shout out because we have somebody else watching who's messaged
yay!
privately. Louise, thank you for watching. So it seems like Louise and Anna are the ones that watch on a regular basis. So
Fabulous. Yep. Growing one by one. So thank you so much. We appreciate both of you, and we're excited to have you tune in. And we'll be here again next Wednesday. We'll keep trying to get a little bit closer to that half-hour mark, just because it's a personal challenge now for me. But we'll just keep on doing the best we can. And yeah, as I said, reach out if you have any questions at all, and we will see you next time.
yeah, sounds good. Thanks for watching and enjoy all the awkward and